Top 20 cartoons that defined the 1980s. Set the Wayback Machine for 1985. The hair is big, the colors are neon, and your parents are yelling at you to turn off the TV and go outside. But you can't, because it's Saturday morning or after school, and that means it's cartoon time. The 1980s was a wild decade for animation. It was the era of the 30-minute toy commercial, the birth of syndication kings, and the rise of theme songs that are still stuck in our heads 40 years later. These shows taught us about teamwork, good versus evil, and the importance of knowing that knowing is half the battle. So grab your Trapper Keeper, pour yourself a bowl of sugary cereal, and join us as we count down the top 20 best cartoons of the 1980s. The list: 20. The Snorks, 1984. Let's start under the sea. If you ever watched the Smurfs and thought, you know what this needs, gills, then the Snorks was your show. These colourful, snorkel-nosed creatures lived in the underwater world of Snorkland. Sure, it was a little on the nose as a Smurfs clone, but it had a catchy theme song and introduced us to characters like All-Star Casey and Tutor, the guy who communicated exclusively by honking. It was harmless, bubbly fun. 19. The Wuzzles, 1985. Before Disney hit it big with DuckTales, they experimented with a show about hybrid animals. The Wuzzles were half one animal, half another, like Bumblebee and half Bumblebee, half lion and hippopotamus, half rabbit, half hippo. The show only lasted one season, but the toys were everywhere. It was a simple, sweet premise about friendship that proved Disney was ready to get back into the TV game. 18. MASK, 1985. Kenner Toys wanted in on the action, and they gave us MASK, or Mobile Armored Strike Command. Led by Matt Tracker, this team used masks that gave them special powers and vehicles that transformed almost as much as the Transformers did. The premise: fighting the evil organization Venom. It was basically G.I. Joe meets Hot Wheels, and for kids in the 80s, it was pure gasoline-soaked adrenaline. 17. The Real Ghostbusters, 1986. After the blockbuster movie, kids needed more ghost-busting action. Enter The Real Ghostbusters. It expanded the mythology, gave Slimer a bigger role as the friendly ghost, and actually managed to be genuinely creepy at times. The chemistry between Peter, Ray, Egon, and Winston was spot on, and it proved that a cartoon could be just as funny, and sometimes scarier, than the live-action film. 16. Alvin and the Chipmunks, 1983. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore made a huge comeback in the 80s with this series. With its synth-heavy theme song and the introduction of the Chipettes, this show brought the Chipmunks to a whole new generation. The plot was always the same. Alvin gets too big for his britches, Dave yells ALLLVINN, and chaos ensues. But the music was catchy and the humor held up. It ran for almost a decade for a reason. 15. The Care Bears, 1985. In a decade full of lasers and explosions, the Care Bears offered a hug. Based on the greeting card characters, these bears lived in Care-a-Lot and traveled to Earth to teach kids about feelings and sharing. They had the Care Bear Stare to defeat villains, basically the most wholesome weapon in cartoon history. It was pure earnest kindness, and it worked. 14. Muppet Barbies, 1984. Here's a show that was all about imagination. Muppet Barbies took toddler versions of Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, and Animal, stuck them in a nursery with Nanny, and let them bounce off the walls into movie parodies and fantasy adventures. It was brilliantly creative, featured amazing celebrity guest stars via stock footage, and taught us that a blanket and a cardboard box could take you anywhere. 13. Gem, 1985. Gem is truly outrageous. This show was music-driven drama about Jerrica Benton, a record executive who used a holographic computer to become her rock star alter ego, Gem. It was glamorous, it had original songs in every episode, and it featured a genuine rivalry with the punk rock misfits. For girls who wanted action but also wanted glitter, Gem delivered both. 12. Inspector Gadget, 1983. Go-Go Gadget, classic. Inspector Gadget was a cyborg detective who was completely clueless, but his niece Penny and her dog Brain always solved the case while he bumbled into traps set by Dr. Claw. It was a comedy of errors with a killer theme song, and it taught kids that you don't need to be the smartest person in the room, you just need good friends. 11. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, 1983. By the power of Grayskull, He-Man was the king of the 80s toy-based cartoons. Prince Adam, the cowardly prince, would transform into the most powerful man in the universe to defend Eternia from Skeletor. It was pure fantasy, sword fights, sorcery, and moral lessons at the end of every episode. It defined the look and feel of the decade's action genre. 10. She-Ra, Princess of Power, 1985. He-Man's twin sister, Adora, got her own show, and it was just as good. She-Ra fought against the Horde, led by Hordak, who was actually Skeletor's old teacher. The show had a strong female-led, great world building, and proved that girls could wield a sword and save the day just as well as the boys. It was a spin-off that stood on its own 2 feet. 9. The Smurfs, 1981. La 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 la, listen to the Smurfs. These little blue creatures took over the world in the 80s. With nearly 250 episodes, Papa Smurf, Brainy, Clumsy and Smurfette faced off against the bumbling wizard Gargamel and his cat Azrael week after week. It was a cultural phenomenon that taught community and cooperation, and it ran for almost the entire decade. 8. G.I. Joe, a real American hero, 1983. Yo Joe, G.I. Joe was the ultimate action-packed military cartoon. Duke, Snake Eyes, Scarlet and the rest of the team fought Cobra Commander and Destro to save the world from terrorism. The animation was kinetic, the vehicles were cool, and every episode ended with a public service announcement. And let's be honest, knowing is half the battle is still a great life motto. 7. Thundercats, 1985. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats ho-oh. When Lion-O and the Thundercats crash-landed on Third Earth, they brought with them the Sword of Omens, the Eye of Thunderer, and the creepiest villain of the decade, Mum-Ra. This show had an anime-influenced style that made it look different from everything else on TV. It was epic fantasy, and it gave us Snarf, who we either loved or wanted to punt across the room. 6. The Transformers, 1984. Robots in disguise, Maury the meets the eye. The Transformers was the ultimate battle between good and evil, Autobots and Decepticons. Optimus Prime's noble sacrifice in the 1986 movie traumatized an entire generation, but it also showed us that cartoons could have real stakes. Whether you were a fan of the cars or the jets, you had a favorite Transformer, and you probably had the toy. 5. Voltron, Defender of the Universe, 1984. And I'll form the head. Voltron was the king of the combining robot genre. 5 lion pilots, Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Princess Allura, joined forces to form Voltron, the giant robot who defended the universe from King Zarkin. When Voltron pulled out that blazing sword, you knew the bad guys were toast. It was teamwork on a gigantic scale. 4. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, 1989. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. This late 80s entry paired the classic chipmunks with Gadget, Monterey Jack, and Zipper to form a detective agency that solved crimes too small for the police. The animation was beautiful, the theme song was an absolute banger, and Gadget was everyone's first cartoon crush. It was Disney at the top of its TV. 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1987. Cowabunga, the Turtles exploded onto the scene in 1987 and changed pop culture forever. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, heroes in a half-shell, fought Shredder and Krang in New York City. They loved pizza, they had attitude, and they were mutants. The theme song was infectious, the humor was sharp, and the Turtles became a multi-billion-dollar franchise that's still going. 2. DuckTales, 1987. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. DuckTales was a masterpiece. It took classic Disney characters like Scrooge McDuck and his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and sent them on globe-trotting adventures for treasure. Launchpad McQuack crashed every plane, the theme song won an Emmy, and the storytelling was top-notch. It proved that syndicated cartoons could have real quality. 1. Adventures of the Gummy Bears, 1985. And our number 1 cartoon of the 1980s is The Adventures of the Gummy Bears. This show was the one that started the Disney TV renaissance. It followed a secret group of immortal bears living beneath a human castle, protecting their magic from the evil Duke Igthorn. It had rich lore, lovable characters, from Zummy the Wise to Cubby the Eager, and the most magical substance in cartoon history, gummaberry juice, which made them bounce. It was serialized before serialized was cool, and it captured the hearts of everyone who watched it. For its heart, its storytelling, and its legacy, The Adventures of the Gummy Bears takes the top spot as the best cartoon of the 1980s. The 80s gave us a cartoon landscape that was bigger, louder, and more colorful than anything that came before. Whether you were a fan of bears, turtles, robots, or ducks, there was a show for you. So here's to the theme songs we still sing, the toys we wore out, and the Saturday mornings we'll never forget. Did your favorite make the list? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more trips down memory lane. I'm your host, signing off.